Hey friends, Sam Basu here. So Uno platform allows you to build .NET cross-platform apps that run everywhere, but from a shared single code base. And we try to elevate developer productivity by allowing you to design and build such apps visually and with AI. But you might have questions about how do I get started? So let's jump in over here to our docs. And one of our goals is to be agnostic to the OS and the IDE and the AI agent that you're using to build Uno platform apps. So you're going to see a whole bunch of choices here. Bring your tools and be productive. I am on a Mac here, and let's do a quick rundown of what you need to get started with VS Code, GitHub Copilot, and MCP tools. So right up front, VS Code, we will kind of walk you through some prerequisites. You have to have VS Code installed and the extension installed, and then you run unocheck, which is a command line tool that brings down all the SDKs and the runtime bits so we can compile and run your apps everywhere. So I have all of that. And then to get a new app started, I can go over here to new.platform.uno. I can, walk through a few, wizard steps. So I choose the right template, blank or recommended. Like I choose my runtime, I choose my platform targets, I choose my presentation layer, a whole bunch of things. Or I can just do an empty app, which is what I've done here. So in my terminal, I've created an empty, folder called Uno test, and I've done a .NET new Uno app. This is the absolute basic empty, template. So let's go over here to VS Code, which clearly I have VS Code installed. And then I do have the Uno platform extension installed. Like this gives you all the bells and whistles as you're building Uno platform apps from inside of VS Code. So make sure you have that. Now let's head over here to my solution, which is actually the empty app. One thing you'll notice here is we have now a platform status checker. So this checks to say the solution is loaded up. Uno check passes, everything is green. We have a dev server running, which is the thing that magically keeps your code in your IDE in sync with the design surface. So all of that is hooked up and ready to go. But what about my AI bits? Like what about my contextual AI? So let's head over here to GitHub Copilot. So I have the chat window open here. I am in agent mode here, and you can choose any model that catches your fancy. One thing you do want to check is go into the settings here, and I have those things unchecked because the moment we see it's an Uno platform app, we'll wire this thing up for you. But then it's always a good sanity check to enable these things and make sure you are good to go. So when I do enable these things, it opens up a few MCP tools. So let me zoom in here. First up is the Uno platform MCPs or the remote MCPs. This brings in docs and the context and search and initialization. And then we have the app MCP, which is all about interacting with your app. So the agents have a lot more confidence being able to, having eyes and hands so they can see your app, they can click around in your app. So much more confidence for developers. So have those things enabled. And now I can ask my AI, what Uno platform MCP tools do you have, right? So we'll let Copilot kind of get back to us. It'll read the same things, and it's going to come back and say, hey, these are all the MCP tools that I have, so I have more confidence. I can click around, I can read, I can write, I can do everything with your app. So I know that the AI that I'm using is that much more contextual because my Copilot and whichever model that I'm using, Sonnet, GPTs, or Claude, they're all set up and ready to go with MCP tools. Now, down here is also my target framework, so I can run my app on all the things, on the places. Let's do desktop because that's the easiest. Here's the other thing I wanted to show you is if I run this app and it's completely empty, it just has like one label that says hello Uno platform. But the app is running here, and you'll notice that up here I have a green check, which means hot reload is enabled, and then I have the fire icon. This takes me into my hot design area and surface. So now I can do things with my app where the app is suspended, still running, but I can change up my UI. So if I go into the design view, you have the usual toolbox, you have the visual tree. I can select individual elements. I can change up the properties and tweak my UI as I go. Or I can go into agent mode where it's a little bit hands-off, and I can add more context here to the agent. Like here's a data context, or here's a screenshot, and then we can ask the agent, this is the hot design agent, to build up some UI for us or tweak the UI that we want. So you have a choice as developers. Do you want to start with MCPs? That's perfectly good. Or do you want to start from scratch with an empty app and have hot design agent take a stab at building up your UI? So no matter how you're building it, it's your choice, but make sure you have some of this tooling installed. And the AI that you're using, it's your choice which one to use, but make sure they're all hooked up with the right MCPs, so you have more confidence with AI. And if you go out here back to the docs, and if I look at creating a new app, go down to VS Code again. Again, the same way, you can start with the templates, or you can also start with Copilot AI prompt, in which case, if you start with an empty shell where you don't even have an Uno platform app, you can drop in an mcp.json, point it to our MCP server, and then you can just ask the agent to create an Uno platform app for you. So like how you get started really doesn't matter, as long as your AI has all the tools and the bells and whistles to be able to build apps for you, and you have a lot more confidence as a developer to build your apps visually and with AI. So that's a quick look at getting started with VS Code, GitHub Copilot, and Uno Platform MCP tools. We cannot wait to see what you build with all of this fancy tooling. And thanks a lot for watching.